I had made the first treatment of the show in October of 2009. So it took a year or so, to get everyone involved, get the sponsor on board. And then we got the green light a month and a half ago. And so because of that, we had to build out a set, we had to get a space, we had to do all our hires. There was a lot of the foundation work to do. And so in terms of the weekly live interactive show, it happens every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time to 10:30. We have a blog that updates throughout the day, every day of the week. We sometimes have 8 pieces of original content there every single day. But obviously the flagship property is this live weekly interactive show. So we had the first one yesterday on Tuesday, and already Tuesday night we were like, okay, for next week's show, who are going to be the panelists? Who's going to be our main influencer, which is our featured one-on-one segment? And so that starts right away. And we're already thinking about, we know there's going to be certain events happening or certain movies and certain things that happen that we know are going to trend. And so we try to, in terms of booking the people that are going to be on the show those weeks, looking at those happenings to make sure there's, it integrates with our show and we get the right people on. So we're thinking about, okay, when Comic-Con happens, everyone's going to be talking about Comic-Con. So who can we have that's connected to that we can have on the show? But obviously our show is not just about those things that we think are going to trend. It's news, so things come up. And so we keep it open to those stories or breaking news coming up and inviting those people possibly over Skype, depending on news that happens that day or in real time. So we partnered with CBSNews.com. I've been there since 2009 as their first video blogger. I had my own blog and video blog there called On the Scene. But this, I wanted to create more of a programming around that and see how we can fill that hole and that gap in between video blogs and web shows and broadcast programming. I do feel that there is a hole and there was a hole, and I always saw this show as filling that, as something that was broadcast quality but had the interactivity and authenticity of the web. So, we have our hub on cbsnews.com/what's trending. We release the show. It's obviously live. We then release it VOD. We also cut it up, so it's available in any way you want to experience it. We then just CBS Audience Network, which goes to YouTube and also gets, syndicated depending on the relevancy of the clips to their various partners, whether it be CNET or TV.com. It might get picked up by Yahoo or MSN. And so that's basically, where it goes. We're also talking to CBS Radio in terms of doing mini reports and them picking up our content also. So we're really looking at, looking at CBS News and CBS as a network and how we can take advantage of platforms to really get the word out there and distribute the content in the best way possible. But what's great about this is that if you miss the show, and a lot of people might, that's just the way it is, that it is then available afterwards to watch. And it's available cut up. Listen, if you don't want to watch the whole thing, then we're saying we want to make this easy for you. This is a great experience. So if you just want to watch our one-on-one interview, you can watch that. If you want to watch our like-dislike segment, you can watch that. Or if you want to watch our What's Trending Now, it makes it easy for the audience. And that's what we want to do.
What's the little device you guys have in your hands?
That's a Samsung AT&T Galaxy Tab. And so that's where, I have some of my questions for the guests. We have feeds of the Twitter, so we'll see how people are replying to us at What's Trending or using the hashtag WTLive. So it allows for that interaction on set.
Cool. And it's sort of the old-fashioned way of sponsorships, the shout-out with AT&T, and that's cool, or how does that work for you guys?
AT&T is an amazing partner. I mean, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for AT&T. So we have we're working on a constant basis with them in terms of figuring out ways to integrate, whether it be in our one-on-one influencer segment or one that might be around what's next, innovation, and also, our social good package that we do with Good Magazine. There's all these things that we're playing around with, and that's what makes this really exciting, I think, with a partner and a sponsor as well, is that, we're saying that this isn't just a typical, throw your logo on. We want this to be a partnership, and we want them to feel like they have ownership of this as much as we do. And I do think that's a new way of looking at these types of brand content relationships, is that you might not get it right away. You might get it right, but depending on the new content coming up, you figure out different ways to bring their product and their brand into it. And then we also mentioned at the top the show, have a mid roll. I think that's 15 seconds. And, you know, it's about figuring out what works and just going with the flow and, you know, as things continue.